Hello and welcome back to the channel. A tactical escalation match between my Harlequins and Imperial fists this time, featuring a lot of the new Vanguard Marines. Let's take a look at the armies. I'm a bit hazy on the Imperial fists units, so the list might not be completely accurate.
What? What the fuck?
So this is a kind of transitional Harlequin list, before I moved from a Harlequin battalion to craft worlds instead. I compromised by taking one troop squad without a Star Weaver and deep striking them instead. The Doomseer is here in all his pre-nerf glory, too. We roll search and destroy deployment, and I get the first turn. Oh, before we begin, this is another one of those reports where I did a piss poor job of recording our objective cards. Just go with it, I guess.
Give in to it, boy. Go with it.
For my first objective I draw, scour the skies. I move up very aggressively like so. My rangers are just out of shot hanging out in a ruin. I send one unit of jet bikes here, to hopefully deal with his Vanguard sniper dudes, who I'm a bit scared of. In the center of the board, I plan to destroy the Redemptor Dread between Doom, Haywire, and my fusion boat, then assault the two units here, with my Warlord and jet bikes, completely crippling this area of the battlefield. One of my Hemlocks, here, manages to zip into a nice little spot right next to his Librarian. My Solitaire blitzes like a boss, and prepares to tear into one of the Inceptor squads. In Psychic, I roll a super smite with this Hemlock, and kill his Librarian outright. This is big news, since the Librarian had null zone, which could have really ruined my day next turn. I also get the much needed Doom off onto the Dreadnought. However, combined shooting from my jet bikes and my fusion boat still leaves the Dreadnought with 3 wounds remaining. I basically rolled a shockingly low amount of shots for the Haywire, then rolled badly to hit, and my fusion pistols kept up their grand old tradition of being completely frickin' useless as well. I was so confident of destroying the Dreadnought that I hadn't made sure this other Hemlock was within 16 inches, for redundancy purposes, so I can't finish it off, and the Hemlock just burns a couple of Eliminators instead.
Not really relevant then, is it?
I then have to make a tough choice. I want to ensure the Dreadnought is slain, so I divert the charge of the jet bikes, intended to wipe out the Hellblasters, into the Dreadnought instead. I lose a couple in Overwatch even with Prismatic Blur up. This does also leave my Warlord on his own. Not a great idea. The jet bikes still don't manage to kill the goddamn Redemptor, leaving it with 1 wound remaining. Oh my fucking god, my Warlord is then predictably punched to death before he can even strike. Over here, the other jet bike squad does fare better in combat. They wipe out the Primaris snipers completely, leaving just a Librarian and a Captain dude left over here. The Solitaire fails in his task, however, and only kills 2 of the 3 Inceptors. In Imperial Fists turn 1, the Redemptor backs up, the aggressors move up, and there's a bit of shuffling around. In shooting, the forward Hemlock is brought to the brink and left on 1 wound. One fusion boat is also reduced to 1 wound, and there's now just 1 bike left over here, with, that's right, 1 wound left.
God damn it, dude, I'm having a panic attack. I'm actually having a panic attack.
He tries a cheeky charge with the second unit of Inceptors to finish off the Hemlock, but I roll super well on Overwatch and wipe out the whole squad. My transports and remaining jet bike then get charged like so. I lose the bike, but both transports survive. Yes, even the one that only had 1 wound left. Noise. The Librarian and Captain kill a couple of bikes over here. My turn 2, and I draw the Dance of Death and Witch Hunter. God fucking knows what my opponent's cards or score is, Since I'm apparently too dumb to remember to take those pictures, I disembark my 2 troops, and bring in the 3rd over here. My planes fly over to this corner of the board, then in shooting, my remaining bikes attempt to destroy the thunderfire cannon but fail, while my 2 troops in the center of the board pummel the surrounding Marines with fusion pistol fire, wreaking havoc. Over here, the 2nd librarian gets incinerated by the hemlock. Then, the players charge in. The deep struck squad fails its charge. The other 2 squads just kind of fall flat. I think the southernmost one kills a couple of Marines but gets wiped out in return, and the other squad doesn't even kill anyone, but only loses a couple in return. Without reroll support from a troop master, they kind of suck.
I know it, don't I know it?
At the end of my turn 2, then, I've actually scored both objectives, plus I scored Scour the Skies last turn, and First Strike, so I'm on 4 points. In Imperial Fist's turn 2, they finish off one of the hemlocks, kill the embattled troop squad, and kill a couple of the jet bikes in the far corner. They don't manage to destroy my deep-struck troop squad, though. Okay, I guess that's the summary for this turn, then. My turn 3. I didn't even photograph my own cards this time. This picture is at the end of my turn. In summary, the hemlock flew over and completely destroyed the suppressor squad which had been here. The suppressors had been quite scary, so I'm glad to get rid of them. My Shadow Seer moved here, into the ruins, and attempted to magic the aggressor to death, but failed. My last troop squad charged the Marines over here, and both sides suffered significant losses. Finally, my Doomseer flew up here to try and help my last jetbike slay the Primaris captain, and possibly to try and claim the objective up here. Oh, and the Solitaire died in a previous turn. We play out the game and, essentially, for the next couple of turns my hemlock zips around and inflicts a significant amount of damage on his forces. Man, those things are nasty versus Primaris Marines. My Doomseer and jetbike both die eventually. I take out the Thunderfire cannon, and the game ends with my Shadow Seer fighting an epic duel with this Marine. Is it a Reaver? I'm not sure. Neither one of us is able to kill the other, but the Marine receives some backup and the Shadow Seer goes down. All I have left is the hemlock, so I automatically lose. Well, I guess it doesn't matter that I did such a piss-poor job recording objectives in the end, then. Once my initial assault was blunted by the Redemptor Dread soaking up basically all my attacks and somehow surviving, it felt pretty uphill. I don't think it was wrong to commit so much to killing it, as it should have been fairly easy, but it wasn't to be. In turn 2 when my 2 troop squads launched an ineffectual assault, I felt like I didn't really know what else to do, so any input from Harlequin players as to a better course of action would be appreciated. Well, that'll do it. Thanks for watching.